Hey, happy Wine Wednesday live. It's me, Brian, back again, and we're getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving dinner. So once again, we're doing a turkey wine today, something that I think would go really well with your turkey dinner. It is a wine from Germany, from a winery that started way back in 1786. The Valckenberg family has been doing wine for quite some time, and it is a Gewurztraminer. And we'll get into a little bit more about that in just a second. But this is the wine we're trying today. Very, very affordable wine. This is very well-rated wine from the Rhine. And we'll talk a little bit about German wine and history, let people catch up here in just a minute. And of course, our sponsor, Arrow Wine and Spirits, giving you a shot at $30 to spend any way you like, especially at the Mason store, their largest showplace. And they've got a lot of things going on there. As a matter of fact, this weekend they're having a tasting again, Saturday from 1 to 5. Trinchero family wines. Some really delicious stuff they'll be pouring from 1 until 5. That's at the Mason location, and you can always keep track of what's happening at either of the 3 Arrow Wine locations in Kettering, Centerville, or Mason by going to @ArrowWineMason on Facebook. That's where they seem to have all the information about the events. Hello, Scott and Kathy. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you let me know you're here. Give me a like or a comment because that's how you can win that $30 gift card. Acacia said, yay for Wine Wednesday. Hello, Mary, and oh, hello, Rita and Bill. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. All right, so here's what we have today. A $30 gift card could be yours. Thanksgiving on the way. Have you noticed when you're drinking and shopping for German and Austrian wines, there seems to be a lot of cat imagery. Lots of cats. What is the deal with the cats? You ever wondered? I mean, there's wine labels that have cats. There are vineyards over there in Austria and Germany that are named after cats. Anytime you see a K-A-T-Z, you know that there's some sort of cat thing going on. And there are even in some wine stores, German bottles that are shaped like a cat. What is the deal with the cats? Let's blow the lid off that right now. So there's a legend, they tell, in a town called Zell, which is in the Rheinhessen, which is where this wine we're tasting from today comes from. About 3 wine merchants who came through, and they were in the wine cellar, and they were trying to buy a barrel of wine, and they could not decide which one to get. This was a long time ago. And then all of a sudden, a black cat jumped onto one of these wine barrels and started hissing and batting at the wine merchants, trying to keep them away from this particular barrel. And they said, well, that's the one we want. Obviously, he knows what's best. And that is kind of where the legend was born. But even today, there are sayings over in Germany and Austria. The house cat sits on the best wine barrel. And a toast, give me some wine from where the cat is sitting. And that is the long and the short of the cat legend. Hello, Cindy and William. You'll find cat figurines even today, keeping that legend alive, which is kind of interesting. This is an actual picture from the wine cellar of the family that we're talking about today. And I just think it's kind of funny that the cat thing took off. So Rheinhessen is the largest wine region in Germany. I thought this was going to print better than it did. It's pretty small. But it's the largest wine region. It's also a large farming region right in the center of Germany, south of the Rhine River and just south of Wiesbaden, which is where I actually lived for a couple of years of my life, and where my mom is from, that general area. And kind of funny, one of my last memories of Germany, when I was, I think, 8 years old, my dad and I were riding bikes because it is very rolling hills everywhere, just beautiful country. And that's the Rhine River. And we were riding our bikes, taking some trip together. 2 memories, actually. One was coasting down this really steep road. And Dad said, are you sure you want to do this, Brian? You're going to go really fast. And I was like, yeah. And I could not believe how fast we were coasting down that hill. And Dad was very impressed that I didn't wipe out. And if you look up in the hillsides of the Rheinhessen, you may also see castles just like this. This is the Lichtenberg Castle in the hills overlooking the Rhine River. And I'm not sure if that's the castle my dad took me to, but I distinctly remember him lifting me up because I couldn't see over the turrets of the castle. And he lifted me up, and the view was like this. It was just like this, and I could not believe how spectacular it was. I mean, just gorgeous, like a fairy tale. That is how this area looks. And they've been making wine there since the Romans. And yeah, as a matter of fact, what is it? There is a legend about a famous vineyard, and there's a record of it in, the Romans kept a record of a specific vineyard that they thought was outstanding, and that was in the Rhine-Hessen, which is where we're going today to try this particular wine. So Turkey wines, you want to find something that is not going to be too tannic, not too big and bold, because a lot of people don't like that, especially with poultry. So last week we talked about a Pinot Noir, and this week another wine that will go with turkey, that will go with all the fixings, that'll go with mashed potatoes and gravy and stuffing, and has a little bit of spice to kind of, enhance the stuffing and the spices in the potatoes and even the sweet potatoes. And it is a wine called Gewurztraminer, and that's the spelling right there, from the PJ Valckenberg Winery, which began way back in 1786. And Gewurztraminer is a very cool grape, and it is not for the faint of heart. If you are more of a red wine fan, you should give Gewurztraminer a try, because it has really distinct, bold flavors. It is it tends to be a little sweeter, but it has spice, because Gewurztraminer translated means spiced grape. Traminer is a name of a grape. And this particular wine, I tried 3 of them last night with my wife. We decided to pick the best Gewurztraminer we could find. We tried 3. There was one from another very historic winery. There's another one we tried from Austria, and this one from Germany. And it was a close battle between the Alsace winery we tried, the Austrian winery. They were all very close, pretty similar quality, all under $20. But I thought that this one was the best. So that's the one we're talking about today. And the other thing I really like about Gewurztraminer is the color. Like if you look at this wine, look at how gold it is. Isn't that gorgeous? It's not clear. It is just a beautiful gold color. And if you ever go to a vineyard where Gewurztraminer grapes are growing, you'll see that the berries look pink. They look kind of pink. And you combine that with the juice and it comes out gold, which I think is very cool. So yeah, a little sweet, very aromatic, kind of floral, but again, tropical fruit. And I'm always astounded that a colder weather climate like Germany, that is relatively elevated, tastes like, the Caribbean with tropical fruits and, honeydew melon and some of these things that you wouldn't normally find growing there. But this particular wine smells just like that. It smells like apricot. It smells like ginger, like a little hint of ginger, kind of exotic, Doesn't that sound interesting? Apricot and like honeysuckle, it's got such interesting aromas. Let's see how it tastes. I can taste this with the turkey right now. Okay, so a little on the sweeter side, but then at the very end, there's this spicy ginger finish. And slowly, as you taste it, this spice comes in the middle of your palate. So you got the sweetness at the start, and then kind of a spiciness that hits you a little bit after, which I can just taste going so well with the stuffing. This would go so well with the stuffing. And then just a little mineral, dry ginger, just a hint of ginger on the finish. I'd say this is medium bodied, but for a white wine, it's a little heavier than you're used to. But I think it would go really well with your Thanksgiving dinner. So you got a Pinot Noir last week we recommended. A Gewurztraminer is another one you could try, kind of exotic. You can bring. It's like, I got this one from Germany, or I got this one from Alsace, or hey, let's try this cool Austrian wine. They all make in that region some really good Gewurztraminers. Acacia says, yum. Evelyn says, sounds really good. It is. Cindy says, sounds very interesting. It is. Thank you for the comments. Once again, let me know you're here, because that's how you win that $30 Arrow Wine and Spirits gift card. So again, the spice aspect of this grape, even though it is sweet, And again, not sweet, not like sickening, but a fruity beginning, but that spice and the mineral aspect of it dries it out and just makes it really refreshing and not cloying at all. So PJ Valckenberg is the winery. They've been doing that for a while. 1786. See, they even circled it on their wine label. So look for that. Something from Germany, something from Austria. Under 20 bucks. You can get this one at Arrow Wine and Spirits. I think it was $17. And this is a 91-point wine and interesting and worth the experience. Okay, so once again, let me know you're here. $30 gift card up for grabs. I will pick a winner between now and tomorrow. And this weekend at Arrow Wine and Spirits, 1 until 5, the Trinchero family wines will be sampled. So if you want to stop on by and try some before you buy some, that is what they do so well at Arrow Wine and Spirits at the Mason store. That's 1 until 5. And then the following week, 1 week from Saturday, I'm going to be out of town this weekend, but I'm coming back next week on the 20th for another tasting over at the Mason store. Zanin Wines, who's a local Ohio guy out of Columbus, but he actually brings the wine. He picks the grapes and everything over there in California and Oregon and Sonoma. And anyway, we'll be tasting a lot of his wines and talking to him on the 20th. So make sure you stop on by Arrow Wine and Spirits in Mason on 1 week from Saturday, because I'll be there with the Warm 98.5 Dog and Pony show at that time. Teresa says, sounds perfect for my Thanksgiving birthday this year. Well, that's an interesting. I'm sorry that you had to celebrate your birthday on the same day as Thanksgiving, Teresa, but thank you very much for watching Wine Wednesday Live. Another turkey wine next week, and we'll see you 1 week from today for another Wine Wednesday Live, sponsored by Arrow Wine and Spirits on Warm 98.5. See you next week.